Latest estimates suggest more than 660,000 people have now fled over its borders. Among them is a Ukrainian woman who's been living and working in Cork for years. Well, our news correspondent Zara King joins us now. You've been speaking to her, Zara. What is the background to her story?
So Vika runs a beauty business, Colette, down in Ballincollig in Cork. She's lived here for many, many years. She's a mum of two little girls, and she went home to Ukraine for a visit. She wanted to go and see friends and family, but also she was doing a course while she was there in Kyiv. She travelled over on Sunday the 27th and was staying with a friend in Kyiv, a friend and her young son, and everything was fine when she went there. She said it was absolutely fine, and she talks about the fact that then they woke up on Thursday morning to this news, and they could hear the sirens. She said it was really frightening. She said it was something she'd never expected. She said her grandmother had told her stories like that from before, but she said she never could have imagined living through this experience herself. Of course, herself and her friend had to make the decision to pack up and leave. She was due to fly home tomorrow, but of course all of that went out the window, and herself and her friend had to pack up her friend's life effectively. I mean, obviously Vika herself had her suitcase from her journey, packed up the car with her friend's 11-year-old son, and they made the journey from Thursday through down to the Polish border, where they crossed over the border this morning. So it's been a very long time for them. Now, crucially, she spoke about being so frightened on that journey, you know, hearing those helicopters flying low, hearing the shelling close by, talking about the fact that they were sort of listening to local media, trying to figure out routes to take to get to the border, Colette, but then finding out that perhaps you shouldn't go that way, the Russians are going to be in this town, go a different route. So all of this they were navigating throughout the journey over the last couple of days, bearing in mind that she's very much used to living life in Ballincollig in Cork, just not something she ever would have expected to have to go through. So she talks about what happens on the Polish border, Colette, because as we know, men are being asked to stay behind and fight for Ukraine. It is that family separation that she witnessed this morning that she found most upsetting. We can take a listen to that account now.
We saw a lot of men around. They were very nice, like they were going for tea or coffee, and they were bringing us, you know, some food, some and they said that if you need something, we have medicine. So it was a lot of men there. But then on the border, they just left their families. They left these women with children, and they just drive away. One man, he was actually Georgian. He's not even Ukrainian. His car plates were Georgian. And he said that I will just leave here my old parents and I will go back. And for real, he left parents, and he asked me, can I have your phone number, you know, just in case. And I said, of course, maybe I can help you somehow. Because he said that he will go on war and he will be protected. And I said to him, but you don't have to, you're not Ukrainian. He said, no, I live here for long. I feel it's my duty, so I'm staying.
So Colette, I mean, this is the unimaginable tragedy that we're talking about that's happening in Ukraine at the moment, the humanitarian crisis that's unfolding there, and Vika witnessing that today. So she's in a village just inside the border at the moment. They're obviously going to rest for a day or two and gather their thoughts. Her little girls are at home in Cork. They're probably watching the news at lunchtime. They've been worried about her, understandably, ringing mummy and saying, when are you going to be home? So she is hoping to get home in the next couple of days. But of course, the question is what happens to her friend and her friend's young son. They are hoping to come to Ireland, but they need to work out the paperwork and the logistics of that over the next couple of days.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much for that.